elder daughter, a sister, and fiance to an amazing boyfriend, HR professional turned profit scale up coach, single handedly set up sales and support teams of multiple BFSI companies, trained over 200 entrepreneurs of the country in a special Government of India training program. I'm on a mission to help 1 million entrepreneurs under 45 achieve 10x profit using intuition, and I'm the founding partner of the 10x Profit Hub. So, this was a little bit about me and the 10x Profit Hub. We have been talking a lot about intuition, and many of you must be thinking, wondering, you would be loving our videos, and you might be getting a thought that how can intuition exactly be used for intuitive problem solving? So, basically, problem solving. So, normally, majority of us use logic to solve problems, but well, intuition is an amazing way to solve the toughest of problems. So, today we are going to discuss the different aspects of intuitive problem solving. I'm sure you guys are excited to know how you will go about it. So, as all of you know, that intuition operates through the right part of the brain, it majorly operates through the subconscious, and it is a data bank of all of our emotions, experiences, feelings gathered over a lifetime or over many lifetimes. And this strikes us at certain amount of times when we require it the most. It's an inner voice that talks to us, and it manifests in many ways. Now, intuition, as you know, it can be very helpful in understanding the nature of the problem, in solving the problem. It is helpful in decision making. So, we are going to look at a different techniques and the strategies that we can use to solve a problem using intuition. So, I am quickly going to discuss, without further ado, the different strategies that we can use for problem solving through intuition. So, have you guys ever noticed that whenever you quiet your mind, whenever you quiet the chatter of your mind, you sit in a quiet place, you relax, suddenly solutions or thoughts come popping into your head about certain things? You just get a flash. There's been a problem or there's been an issue in your personal or professional life that you've been pondering upon, and you've been thinking, how do I solve this? And at the most unlikeliest of times, when you sit quietly, suddenly you get a flash or you get a thought which pops into your head, and you're like, let me try this. Probably this will help me solve the problem. So, yes, it's a very effective technique, quieting the mind. And there are many techniques that you can use to quiet your mind, such as you can take long walks in the nature. So, maybe once you start walking in the nature, you're surrounded by greenery, or you're surrounded probably by water body, if you're walking on a beach, or greenery, and you just start getting solutions of different things, because your mind is quiet, your thoughts chatter has stopped, and that's exactly the time when the subconscious comes up and it pops with innovative solutions through your intuition. You also know that when you do deep breathing, you calm down your mind, you quiet your mind. So even if you're not outside in nature, even if you're not taking a walk, you can just sit quietly in one place, probably in your room where there would be no one who's disturbing you. You can do deep breathing. After a few deep breaths, your mind calms down, and you start getting intuitive thoughts, you start getting solutions. Meditation, of course, when you practice regular meditation, you definitely notice lots of differences in yourself, in the way you conduct yourself, in the way you handle negative emotions or situations. You get very less negative thoughts, and you get very less negative emotions as well when you do meditation. Or there are different relaxation techniques as well. Like you can do yoga along with deep breathing, along with meditation. You can combine all of these techniques. So basically, calming the mind, quieting the chatter of the mind, especially in today's scenario when we have been facing the pandemic since quite some time now, and almost many of us have been working from home. There are a lot of distractions. You have to manage your household work and balance it along with your work from home office work. So you need a lot of concentration. So these techniques also help you in doing that, and also they help you to solve your day-to-day problems or your professional problems or the tough problems when you quiet your mind. When you have sustained focus attention and when you have a relaxed mind, like I was talking earlier, intuition starts talking to you, it starts speaking to you, and it starts giving you a solution, and it enables images to flash and to bubble up in your subconscious. So images come bubbling up in your subconscious, and you get images of certain problems, you get images of the people that are associated with the problem, and you see that person clearly, and you see what needs to be done in that situation with the person. So this comes as images, it comes in the form of a flash in front of your eyes, it comes as a thought, and you may just see the image of that particular person. This can be true in both personal or professional life, both. Now, setting a two-ended deadline. So this is a very important point. You need to fix in your mind a deadline of two factors. It's a two-ended deadline to solve the problem. The period of time in which you will work on the problem. So, say for example, you set aside, depending on the nature of the problem, you set aside a number of hours, a couple of hours, or more time, or less time, or probably you set a time of a day or two, or maybe more than that, depending on the kind of problem that you want to solve and depending on what your inner voice, your intuition is telling you. So, set that period of time in which you'll be working on solving the problem. Whether you find the solution to that problem or not, you're going to stick to that deadline in which you will work on the problem. And you also take a long, hard look at the puzzle, at the problem to see it from different angles. So you're going to set a deadline wherein you will think and reflect on the problem. You will find different kinds of solutions to work on the problem, and you will take a long hard look at the puzzle. If it is a puzzling problem, you see at it from different angles, you look at it from different angles. Now normally in logic what we do is like I've shown you on the screen, that what we want to solve, focus on that and focus on the hypothesis. So focus on the problem, which is what we want to solve, and the hypothesis, all the different scenarios that you have pulled up, the analysis that you've done about the problem, and all the possible solutions that you have thought about it. Now let's take an example of probably a large company. Okay, whether you are a business person or you are a manager in a large company or you are an HR professional, all three scenarios you may face a situation with managing people. So let's take an example of a person, an employee, who has been showing very much erratic behavior at work. Okay, so that person has an issue with discipline, not coming on time, taking a lot of leaves. You have counseled him time and again. You have spoken to him. He has opened up to you about probably any personal problem that he's facing at home, or maybe he has any problem with the family, or an illness in the family, or taking care of his parents. XYZ, whichever reason the person has mentioned to you, you have given him solutions, and for some time he pulls up his socks and he becomes regular, but then again he falls back into a rut. So, this is a kind of a complex problem. So, you have tried different solutions with that person, but none of the solutions seem to work. So, this problem is a big puzzle, and you need to look at it from different angles. So, whether you are a business owner and this is one of your employees of your business, whether you are a manager and you're managing this employee in a small to mid-sized company or in large MNC, or whether you are an HR professional and the manager has referred that employee to you in terms of disciplinary issues, you are supposed to counsel that employee, you are counseling that employee, but in spite of trying out different solutions and giving him different solutions, like maybe you can give him flexi hours. You say that, okay, fine, you work from this to this time. The other time, you tackle your problem, you tackle your family, so that your mind is off it. And during work, you can completely concentrate on work. Or maybe you have given him, um, say that you work 3 days in a week, okay, and particular number of hours, and you deliver so and so thing. Maybe you have tried different combination of different solutions, flexi hours or flexi days, flexi timings, or maybe work from home. If you are operating from an office. I'm talking about a scenario where we are operating from offices, not currently in the pandemic scenario, it's already work from home, but probably you have given this to him as well, that you do a work from home. So you have tried all these different scenarios. For some time he shows productivity, but then again he falls back into the rut, and again he goes to his old ways of um, absenteeism, or taking a lot of leaves, or showing up late to work almost every other day. So you are going to fix a time frame for this problem. Say, for example, 3 or 4 days, I'll work on this problem. I will bring up all the possible scenarios, the solutions, and everything. And I will be solving this in those days' times, and I will look at it from different angles. Now, when you have been practicing quieting your mind, obviously, when you sit down and you reflect on the problem, your intuition will throw up different solutions. Your intuition will pop up in your mind in terms of thoughts or images or flashes in different ways that the problem can be solved. That is one scenario that we discussed with regards to how you solve the problem. And I'm sure I would have you would have loved it, and you would have found it to be a different way of looking at the problem solving technique. Now the next point is, you might be in a state where you're willing, you should be ideally in a state where you're willing and you are open to different train of thoughts, different variety of thoughts. You're open, you're amenable, as in you're flexible in terms of looking at different variety of thoughts. You are not falling into the traditional mold of taking decisions or solving problems the traditional way that we have been doing always, but from an intuitive way, from an innovative way, that you will consider all possible thoughts and all possible scenarios to do it. So if you're open to do it, if you're in that state, then intuition will help you solve those problems. Next is, when you're solving the problem, when you're tackling the problem, asking yourself different questions. Which are those questions? You will ask yourself, what is the problem? What are the components or the parts of the problem? Like, you will break down the problem in different parts. Okay. So, say for example, like in the earlier example that I took of an employee, what are the different parts? What are the different scenarios that you're facing with the employee? Are you facing discipline scenarios? He's coming late to work. Are you facing absenteeism scenarios? Is he remaining absent for most of the days, or is he taking a lot of leaves? Are you facing productivity scenarios with the employee? Is he not productive enough, or is he not delivering on his commitments, his KRAs? You will look at his KRAs as well. If he's a salesperson, is he not achieving his numbers? So these are the different parts or the components of the problem that you will break down and understand what are the parts. Third is, what are the consequences of the problem. So in this scenario that we took, the different consequences or the results of this will end up being that if that employee is not performing up to the mark, or if he continues this behavior, then probably you might have to give him a warning. And going ahead, after giving the warning, you probably might have to put him on a performance improvement period, which is the PIP that we call in corporate terms. Or you may have to ultimately end up firing that employee or asking him to leave. So these are the possible consequences, these are the possible results for this particular person. Now, you will also ask yourself, how does the problem make you feel? So, of course, since you're a business owner, it's impacting your business. You will think in logical, objective terms that, I should be replacing this employee, because it is doing harm to my business. But on the other hand, you will also look at the humanitarian or the morality point of it, that, this employee has been with the company since a long time, say, for example, 5 years or 10 years. And you will also look at it that, he has been loyal to the company, he has been rendering his services to the company since a long time. So you will also be thinking from that point of view that, is it right for me to just fire this employee or just do away with him? So, what kind of different emotions or what kind of different feelings you're getting when you think about the problem, you would also think about that. So, ask yourself these questions. When you ask yourself these questions, your subconscious will also take into this account and come up with the best possible solutions. Your intuition will come up with the best possible solutions in this scenario. Now, when images or flashes comes to you or ideas come to you when your intuition is speaking to you, you need to validate those images when you're using your intuitive process. Validate as in, of course, use your logical mind and also your subconscious mind, thinking that whatever thoughts I'm getting, are these really workable? These images and these ideas that I'm getting, are they related to the problem? And are they going to help me solve the problem? Do the validation process. Validation is also important. So, in a sense, when I'm talking to you, you must be getting a feeling that even though we are using intuition, this is looks like more like a logical problem-solving technique. But of course, whenever you're using intuition, you're not supposed to completely set aside logic, because for certain parts of the problem, the way you solve the problem, you are going to use logic, because intuition also takes into account the practical and the logical part of the problem, even though it is emerging from your subconscious. Because obviously, in emotions or getting carried away, you are not supposed to make any wrong decisions. So, this step is very important for you to validate and understand that you are coming to a proper conclusion or proper solution for the problem, which is workable and which is beneficial to all the parties. Now, for your intuition process to bloom and to be a full-fledged process and to turn out to be an amazing process, you need to do a free write. So, what is a free write? Free write is basically whatever thoughts, whatever ideas, whatever images or words that pop up into your mind, just quickly write it down in a journal without thinking. Whatever first thought or an image or idea comes into your mind. This is when you're sitting down, you're reflecting on your problem, or otherwise also. Keep the habit of writing it down in your journal. Um, Probably you can also write it down on your phone notepad or your laptop notepad or wherever you take notes. You can do that as well if you're comfortable with that, and quickly refer to it. Um, so you can quickly refer to any notes that you make in your phone and keep doing this on a regular basis. This is going to help you a lot. So, free write is very important. Without judging, without thinking, whatever first thought, idea, image, flash, anything that pops up into your mind, just do a free write, write it down. I'm sure that you have loved all these steps of intuitive problem solving. You find these to be helpful, and I'm sure that all of you are going to use this in your problem solving decision making method. So, do show us some love, because I know you've liked this video. Do like this video and join our private FB group and our VIP private Telegram channel. Link is given in the description. And keep your intuitive juices flowing, keep your intuition growing, and follow the intuition problem solving techniques. I will come up next time and I'll see you next time with more amazing content. Till then, take care, guys. Bye.